Sorry if this is a little rambly. I'll try to make the ramble make sense. My parents are divorced. My mom and dad shared custody of me, 16F, and my brother, 19M, since the divorce. My brother aged out of a custody plan but I hadn't. But I still decided like 3 months ago that I was done with my dad and I wanted to stay with my mom all the time. My mom checked with her lawyer and he said it'd be fine, so I stopped going to my dad's house so long as I don't block his number or anything until I'm 18. I guess people will be asking what it's all about. So it's a few things. For years dad has had our spot with me and a different our spot with my brother. Think somewhere he took us for one-to-one time. He said he would never take me to his and my brother's spot and would never take my brother to mine and his spot. He said there are so many places in the world and he wanted us to each have a little something just for us. That was unique and special to us. We liked it at the time. And we still had stuff the three of us did. When I was 12 my dad got married again. I knew his new stepdaughter from school. She's a bully, although she wasn't my bully exactly, though she didn't like me either. We met when we were 10 and she was the new girl. I had started to befriend her and she was a huge jerk to my friends and other kids at school. When I stood up to her she turned on me for not having her back. She said I was supposed to be on her side and pick her over my other friends. We didn't like each other after that and her list of people she bullied got longer. I was never really on that list, we just glared at each other and she would tell me to fuck off a lot because I'd tell her to leave my friends alone. I hated when dad became her stepdad. He knew about the issues the two of us had with each other and he said we'd learn to love each other. He started spending more time with her, found there our spot and tried to be the dad she didn't have. When he realized she had no friends at school or anywhere he tried to get me to be her friend and I was upset and hurt he'd ask me to do that knowing what she was like. His wife said she was my family now and I should prioritize her over some childhood friends that would never last. I refused and me and dad fought. Me and his stepdaughter really didn't get along when I was at dad's house. She loved to gloat that she lived with dad all of the time and they were getting closer than me and him could ever be. I really didn't like her and I told dad I felt like he betrayed me by trying to be her dad when he knows how she treats other people and that she didn't like me for defending others against her. He told me once he married her mom he had to be there for her and we should all try to pull together as a family. There were times when we fought where he came in and he took her side and he asked me to give her a break because she had no one and I had all these friends. Then after they'd been married for like 2 years my dad asked me to speak to my cousins and get them to give her a chance. Several of my cousins on his side go to school with us and know all about her. They ignored and excluded her at family stuff. I said no to what dad asked and he got really mad at me. I cried and he told me to please just show what a great girl I am and I told him he liked her more anyway. I meant it when I said it too because it felt like he took her side over mine every time he got involved. The rest of the time he stayed out of it. The last few years have been more of the same stuff. I cry. I hate this girl more and more. I wish her dad would come back and take her away or I wish someone would turn around and bully her back and chase her mom away with her because her mom doesn't care how she treats others. I reached the point where I wasn't willing to do anything to be nice or helpful or civil or anything that would make it look like I thought she was a good person. And then my dad started taking her to our spot. She told me so fast after they'd been there like 5 times. And all 5 times she had proof to show me. I lost my shit. I told her I hated her and called her a bully and a BTCH and a monster and all kinds of stuff. My dad and his wife heard it all go down and my dad tried to make me stop but I said she should do everything she has told other kids in school to do and I'll celebrate then because she's the one who deserves it. Then I told my dad he wasn't my dad anymore and at least he had another daughter. He told me I needed to calm down and not lash out like that. I said he ruined our spot, he was a liar, he betrayed me for her and I said that was where I could never forgive him because I hated her. I wished she didn't exist and would get the fuck out of my life. Dad said taking her there wasn't meant to hurt me and he was sorry and he'd stop and he was still my dad and he loved all 3 of us the same. I said I didn't want a dad who could love her. I told him my feelings didn't matter to him, only hers did, and he didn't take her to his and my brother's spot, just mine. Even though he knew how much I hated her and how much she hated me. And then I stopped going. My dad tried to change that but I really am 100% done with him. But then his side of my extended family asked some questions about what happened and I told them, and with my cousins who had seen and knew so much about what dad's stepdaughter was like they took my side. They turned against Dad and told him and his wife that her daughter wasn't getting money for college or anything from my grandparents, and my grandparents saved some money for all of us for college or like future stuff. They said she was not family and stuff and called her names and told Dad he should be ashamed of himself for picking someone over either of his real kids. My dad called and cried about it in a voice message because I didn't answer, and his wife called 3 times on his phone and left 3 voice messages where she basically yelled and called me names for turning the family against Dad, them, when I already chose my mom's house. She said my dad was heartbroken and none of this was on him, it was all me. My mom sent those onto her lawyer in case we need to go back to court. But the whole thing is quiet RN and mostly settled again. I just think about it sometimes and I feel so glad the rest of my family chose me when he didn't. But AITA?